Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Asteroid Fight Club. And with the world on the brink of World War III for the 6th time in 2019, and the possible hurricane I've been warning about for New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, and New England, 3 to 8 days away, can I say that I really could use that good luck kiss, ladies? I'm having total deja vu. Because last year, while everyone was talking about Kavanaugh, I was the first person on the planet to warn people that Hurricane Florence would hit the East Coast. And I need to remind you that pro-meteorologists and the models told people Florence was going out to sea for a full week. Deja vu. Here we go again. And so please ignore your political triggers and take this as 007 code for y'all better be ready for big hurricane surprises. Philippe Papin, who's always yapping the really great stuff about hurricanes and weather, even though Humberto is expected to start moving east away from the U.S., the ECMWF ensemble guidance still depict remarkable along-track uncertainty. A lot depends on the storm's short-term motion the next few days. Most likely, the track is out to sea, but it is not 100% guarantee. All right, man. Once again, I want to say thanks to Asteroid Fight Club and everyone out there. Last night, it was like a dream, but here we are back in real life, semi-hell. So yeah, you got a couple Euro tracks that are pointing to some chicanery or some things that the models can't or don't account for. Meaning that, like, if it is the Neptune pressure, then it really throws the models off and they have a hard time adjusting to it. Ben Knoll, the juxtaposition of Dorian and Humberto. Just 11 days separated these storms. Double, triple, 2017 deja vu. Awkward silence so you can read it. Permanent post 9/11 deja vu is oil wins again. BG Weather, European model, has been picking up this northwestern trend too. Assuming that this could be the Neptune opposition hurricane, everything is at play here. Stay safe, East Coast. And yeah, to be safest, everyone on the coasts is on full-scale red alert from the 18th through the rest of September. If my Neptune, what the heck? Eris gas giants on the same side theory is correct, Hurricane Michael's 942 millibar low will be beaten this season. Yes, a sub 900 millibar low is possible. The NAM is presently drawing it up as a 900 millibar low, which would be a Category 5 asterisk WTF type hurricane with a strange wind field. In the earlier run, the NAM had drawn up an 892 millibar low. Felipe, overall, the Euro ensemble guidance is much slower than the National Hurricane Center forecast track, with its ensemble mean more than 1,500 kilometers west of the 120-hour NHC forecast position. Potential for some very large errors in verification. Brent crude has a 19% jump, which is the biggest since 1991. Kimwood, though, at 18 UTC on September 13th, Kiko was a minimal tropical storm in the eastern North Pacific. 48 hours later, it became a Category 4 hurricane. A massive burst of very deep convection, seen at the start, appears to have preceded this extended period of rapid intensification. And so, yeah, rapid intensification and hurricane surprises are on the board. I've literally been warning you about the period starting September 18th since April. Philip Papin winning Asteroid Fight Club medals on this day. Thanks for that, PP. I'd like to give a shout out to Berg Weather, who highlighted the uncertainty in the Euro ensemble yesterday. This is some of the largest track spread I've ever seen from a tropical cyclone in a 5-day forecast, in a day 5 forecast. I don't envy being a forecaster here. Tomer Berg talk about an ensemble spread for Humberto. The ellipse, representing position, uncertainty, and calculated to contain 90% of Euro ensemble members, is among the largest I've ever seen. Quite an uncertain track forecast. And this is day 15 of a 60-day peak hurricane season. Benol anomalous rising motion across Atlantic Africa during October means the hurricane risk will continue. October climatology says the Caribbean is favored for storm development, but the expected pattern may encourage an extended Cabo Verde season. Matthew Ferraria, a good read as to why Humberto may either go out or back west. Tom Berg, while Humberto's short-term track and intensity trends are obviously a factor, there are symptomatic factors that affecting Humberto's evolution as well. Inspired by Jack Sillin, who's always chillin', I made an annotated plot of what appear to be primary factors affecting Humberto's track. And so basically it's like, if it slows too much, it's going to miss the ridge that would kick it out to sea. But my whole theory has been the Neptune pressure affects the storm as the air pressure will affect next month's storm. And so the models won't factor this in, and it will cause for some weird turns, jiggles, and wobbles that nobody will expect. And partially, this is how I got Florence right last year, a week ahead of every single freaking person on the planet. All right? But Cranky Weather Guy, the king of weather Twitter, and someone I consider a friend, we totally disagree on this one. He's pretty sure, last I saw, that it is just taking a hard right and it is out to sea. We disagree. We disagreed on Florence last year, although he was the first person that pegged Hurricane Michael. I got its intensity right, though. So, but yeah, if it goes out right out to sea, that's wonderful. And the next one that will probably be 5 to 7 days away could be a danger to the northeast as well. Michael Ventris showing us that it's almost pointing at the northeast, unless we get a miracle or an asteroid fight club quantum entanglement jiggle wiggle. The best way to track Humberto, brought to us by Chick Jacobs. Humberto update. This is 13 hours ago. The tropical storm is nudging into an area where slow development is likely. Look for Hurricane Humberto. By this time tomorrow, you can see Humberto and the air mass that will steer it in this water vapor loop. So yeah, this thing right here is the ridge. So this is supposed to be the thing that kicks Humberto out to sea. If they miss, it's going to be a disaster. And if somehow you get some anomalous things happening, then it could be a disaster as well. I'm not guaranteeing anybody. This is definitely going to hit the northeast coast. I've always had a 20% out to sea option since April. And so I'm just highly recommending, if you are anywhere in this, I mean, actually, they're saying Florida's at no risk at all, but there's no reason for everybody along here to not be paying attention and checking in on this storm, not just with me, but with your own local authorities and your favorite people every 4 to 6 hours between now and this thing is gone. And last night when Sponge took the stage, the lead singer Vinny and the guitarist Joey were both wearing badass aviators. Thank you for that really cool moment. I love you people. Republican, Democrat, middleman, middle women. We are all in this together, and I don't want to lose anybody, but the potential is high. This worst case scenario is really bad, people. What can one man do when gods make war? From September 13th, Chris Crepon. You're not the only one. This evening, a hurricane expert who has been working on models and forecasting for 20 years plus told me he believes the National Hurricane Center has this one totally wrong. He essentially predicts another Dorian. Don't want to cause any panic, but I think we should take these news reports calling it a, quote, rainmaker with a grain of salt. Even if that is the case for Florida, it doesn't mean it will be the case for the rest of the continental United States or even, say, Bermuda. And let me recap. What had happened was on September 13th, I think it was like the 12Z Euro and the 00Z GFS had locked in on location for the Northeast, including North Carolina, New Jersey, New York, New England. Except they were a week apart. This said this would happen on the 20th. This had it happening on the 28th. I'd never seen that before. And then after this point, almost directly after this tweet, every single model showed everything out to sea. Like all models locked in for 10 days almost, it felt like, which I'd never seen for like a 48-hour period. And then last night when I got back from the show, thank y'all again, it was amazing. And I just had flashbacks watching Alexis dance earlier in the year, March. That was amazing too. What was it talking about? Oh yeah. And so the models have started to hint towards landfalls again. And so I can't stress enough, as your planetary defense commander, a Christian and someone who loves you all and feels pain when other people feel pain, especially on a large collective level. I want us all to handle this as best as possible. You know, I pray it goes out to sea, but we better prepare. Deja vu. Here we go again. And for the sake of the future, your family, your friends, your pets, definitely have a plan in case shit goes south in the next few days. And, you know, I'd like to ask, all the name calling and the blaming doesn't help anything at all. So if everybody could take a week to grow up and resist your inner impulses to just react and lash out like they want you to, that would be wonderful. Because all the name calling hasn't helped anything. So, I'm going to do my best to bring you guys the best information possible. And this is the point of the video that I'm going to remind y'all, hey, guess what? I make my living off contributions, donations, and the letters I get in the mail. I'm pretty sure no matter what, the 18th through through October is going to be crazy. And so every time I go to the mailbox and there's a letter in there, it puts a smile on my face. Example, yesterday, my buddy who's going to take me to the show because I lost my car doing THORnews, he was sick and he's like, I can't take you. And while I was broke, well, not broke, but I didn't have enough money to Uber. I said, all right, here's the deal. Even though this is my favorite band of all time, I haven't seen them in over 10, 15 years. If there's a letter in the mailbox, I will go. And I went to the mailbox and there were 2. And 3 days before that, there were 0. So sometimes your letters change and affect my future. And man, if I hadn't gotten my soul recharged yesterday, I don't know what I would have been able to handle it. Because before the concert, my gas tank, my inspiration tank was at 0. Because I've spent 99% of the time in this foxhole trying to keep people informed, stay in the middle, and get us to a place where we can get beyond a war, oil, and deception economy. It's going to take us all, man. Okay, and also, to the wealthy people who watch my channel, I wouldn't mind a donation from you. I kicked some beehives the other day, so I don't know if would make it through PayPal or the CashApp stuff, because the digital shit's always locked down. And it's a matter of how happy or unhappy they are with me. But checking the mail would be nice. Yeah. So for all the really wealthy people who've been hoarding shit forever from everybody, if you'd like to make a good luck donation to THORnews that's generous, so maybe I can have a little more fun and stay in an upbeat mood as things get wild and wacky, that would be greatly appreciated. And Merry Christmas to everybody ahead of time. Okay, everybody stay cool. We are all in this together. God bless everyone. May the force be with you always, and let us live long and prosper together. And my 21 crushes, it's never too late to give me that good luck kiss. Who knows, though? Maybe we paved paradise to put up a global glass parking lot. The birds are in the air. They're not. It's a joke. But it's not funny.